Hello, and thank you for joining us today on this episode of Gallivant with Kris and Tony. Today we're going to gallivant to the kitchen. We're going to be making a little taste of Italy. It's a baked pasta dish using penne. It's a variation of a dish my mom made when I was a kid, but she used mustaccioli. It's going to be a sausage red sauce, lots of cheese, and I'll be going over the ingredients in just a moment. And remember, if you like what you see, please click the thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. Let's go over those ingredients now. Okay, we have a pound of penne ricotta. Going to be using a little bit of cento tomato paste. Going to be hand crushing these peeled plum tomatoes. It's 2 cans. We're going to be doing a chopped bell pepper and half of a red onion. We'll be sauteing that with 3 cloves of garlic. Got a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of parsley flakes, and a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper. We've got a pound of mild Italian sausage. Going to be using some ricotta cheese and some mozzarella on top. Right, first we're going to brown our sausage. We're going to cook it about 90% of the way. It's going to go into the sauce and it's going to bake in the oven for about 15-20 minutes at 350 degrees. So to continue cooking, so we don't have to cook it all the way in the pan. We're just going to brown it, lightly brown. So while we have our sausage browning, I'm going to chop up some onions here. Don't have to be perfect, just diced. We're going to saute them, so they're going to cook down. So even if you don't like onion, they're going to cook down to the point where you're not even going to see them. So it's not even going to matter, but it's going to add a lot of flavor. So it's something you will want to leave in there. All right, we have our onion and our pepper chop. We have our garlic cloves ready to get mushed. Sausage is done. I'm going to take that out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sausage out of the pan, but I'm going to leave the fat in there. We're going to saute the onions and the pepper and the garlic in that to create a really good flavor. So let me take that out of there right now. All right, and as you can see, I'm no expert. You just got to get your onions small enough and your pepper small enough so that they are going to cook down. But there's no perfect. So we're going to take this out. We will add the sausage back in once the onion and pepper and garlic have cooked down. Just trying to make a break for it. And while these things are sauteing, I'm going to go ahead and start crushing the tomatoes for our sauce. These are your plum tomatoes. We're just going to pour them into the pot, and the pot is where we will hand crush them. Of course, I'll wash my hands before I do that. There's one. All right, got my hands all nice and clean. Gonna go in. You just squeeze them, because you want it to be to the point where you're not getting big pieces of tomato. But I find that if you were to just use crushed tomato, yeah, there's something about getting your hands in there. And it's like making a good wine, you know, you want to stomp on it with your feet. Of course, you don't want to stomp on the tomatoes with your feet. So just get in there. That. Now we'll check on our onions and peppers. Looks good. The other can. Just get in there real good. You know, if you don't have time, obviously you don't have to do hand crushed tomatoes. You can just get crushed tomato, and that'll work fine. We're going to spice it up anyways with a lot of with that parsley and the oregano and salt, pepper. You know, I did forget to point out that I did get tomatoes that have no salt added. That way you can just kind of add to your own taste. You know, there's nothing worse than having something be too salty. This way you can add it as you go, get it to that point that's just right for you. What's right for me may not be right for you, so that's a good thing by adding your own salt as you go along there. And so that's good. All right, and get ready to add our garlic. That smells good. And a handy dandy garlic press. 2 in there. See, once you start smelling that garlic, sausage back in there. Got a pepper trying to escape. All right, so what we do is we're gonna put the sauce on the heat there, and we're gonna add the sausage and all the spices to there. The sauce needs to simmer at least 15 minutes. While the sauce is simmering though, we will boil the pasta to a point of al dente. We're gonna do al dente because it's gonna continue to cook once we put it in that 9x13 to put it in the oven. So we don't want it to be soft and mushy. So we want it to be al dente. We'll drain it. The sausage and the sauce will be done by then. Then we'll put it all together. All right, so we got the sausage off to the side. Sauce is on the heat. That's where we're gonna add a little tomato paste. Tomato paste is gonna help thicken up because it's a little thin right now. We're gonna add our oregano, our parsley flakes, and the crushed red pepper. And we have some Mediterranean sea salt. I like to grind some of that in there. Maybe a teaspoon. And some black pepper. we'll add the sausage. Okay, we're gonna move that to the side. Let that continue to simmer. And get our water over here. Start boiling our water for the pasta. All right, so we got the water boiling. Gonna add a little bit of salt to that. The sauce is simmering. It's all coming together. What we'll do is we're gonna let the pasta boil, and then we'll take some of the pasta water out. Usually just a ladle full. I like to do that because you can add it to the sauce afterwards. It'll help it thicken up the starches in the water. I'm sure some of you already know that. I didn't know that till I started cooking this. So yeah, water's almost at a boil right now. I can add the pasta, we'll add that salt, and I'll come right back to you. For those of you who know Kris and I, we have been living in Alabama, and they have a store here called Rouse's Markets. And Rouse's, the family, actually gets products from Italy. Their penne and all of their pastas that are their brand, store brands, are from Italy. So they're really, but pasta's still boiling. As you can see, it's almost there. So while the pasta finishes boiling, I wanted to prepare the cheese. So you're not going to use this whole container of ricotta. You're basically going to do a layer of it and then add sauce over that, and then kind of some more noodles. And then we're going to top it with the mozzarella. Now what's nice about this mozzarella, it is fresh, but it comes already cut in slices. So it's nice where you'll be able to place it over the top. But yeah, with the ricotta, we're not going to use that whole tub. We're just going to put it in there. What that's going to do while it bakes, it's going to help thicken the sauce. So it's more creamy. It's going to be a nice creamy sauce. And like I said, very cheesy. And again, that's why I like to do tomatoes without salt, because obviously there's salt in the cheese. It's going to help flavor it. So since we got that ready, let's get that pasta. It should be done by now. So we're going to heat the oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to put that on right now so that it's ready to go. Once we put everything together, we'll put. There we go. And just keep that to the side. Let's turn this off. Give ourselves a little facial here with the hot water. So we're going to take our 9x13, make a little bit of room here. And take a ladle of it, put it along the bottom. That all nice and coated. And of course, we're probably going to have some sauce left over. I'd rather make too much for that, because you know what I can do with this, when it's leftovers, I'll put it in a container. I can freeze it for the next time that I do a pasta, and it's ready to go. So it's always good to make more than you need. Put some of the pasta in there. Our oven's at 350. See, now that we got this layer, this is where I'm going to add the ricotta. Because as it bakes, it's going to bake in. Put this back on the stove, put the ricotta on there. Put another layer of pasta, more sauce. we're just going to spoon it out. If you're not a big fan of ricotta, don't worry. It doesn't overpower it. It's just enough that it makes it good and cheesy. Sauce. You know, we might not end up with extra sauce, but that's all right. Make sure you get it all out, everybody out. Leave no man behind. Just go ahead and dump the rest on there. All right. We didn't have to add that pasta water after all, but that's good. That's good, but you never know. So now what we'll do is we're gonna add that layer of mozzarella on top. This is also great to use if you do a homemade pizza, or if you wanted to just have a caprese salad. Some of this with some sliced Roma tomatoes, some fresh basil, olive oil. I just like to leave it like that. Done. So then what we're going to do is add where'd my towel go? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of foil on top of that. Not tight, kind of tented. Let that heat get in there. Let it continue to cook. And see the liquid in there? That's why it's going to, the al dente, it's going to cook through, be perfect. The sausage will be perfect. About 5 minutes before it's done, I'll take that foil off, and so that it'll brown a little on top. But it'll be in there total about 25 minutes. 20 minutes tented, 5 minutes off, just to give it a good browning, and then we'll check in on it. Just in case I wasn't clear about tenting, I keep that side open. It's a little puffed up. The other 3 sides are on that dish good. I leave this other side up just so that air can kind of get in there. Just wanted to make sure I explained myself, that's all. What's nice about cooking, it's like art. You know, it's what tastes good to me doesn't have to taste good to you. Play with it. See what works best for you, and then make that your recipe. That's kind of what I did with this. These flavors work well. My nephew loves my sauce. He actually makes it for his friends. I don't believe I've ever done the fresh bell pepper in there, so he's probably wondering why I'm doing that, so he can try that and see. I figured he's probably not a big fan of it, but you know what, he may be. Like I said, it's not overpowering. All those flavors meld together and just taste really good, at least in my opinion. But like I said, to each his own. If you don't like bell peppers and onions, try it without, see what happens. If you don't like ricotta and mozzarella and your thing is American cheese, hey, throw some American cheese on there. Whatever you want, whatever floats your boat, whatever tastes good to you, do it that way. That's the greatest thing about cooking. So while that's still in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and dry these dishes, and then Looks like we got about 14 minutes left on that. We'll come back and see how it's doing. All right, got 5 minutes left here. We're gonna take that aluminum foil off the top. There's a noodle stuck on there, and we can't let him. We gotta eat him. We gotta eat him. That's good. It looks great. I'm not gonna pull it out yet. I just want it to be a surprise for all of you. Let that continue for another 5 minutes. For those of you who also may be wondering where Kris is, she's on a phone call right now. She's talking to her mom. And so she will come out for the taste test. She's my best critic. She's gonna let me know if it's good or not, which is okay. She's honest. That's all I expect is honesty. So while we're waiting those last 5 minutes, got a bottle of wine. This should go good with it. It's St. Giorgio, Toscana. It's a Castellani. I've never tried this. I did get it from Total Wine, but it should pair well with a pasta with red sauce. So I'm gonna open this up and we'll try it. Hope everybody's having a good day today. And again, I appreciate you taking time out to check out this episode. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm not very good at this yet. I'm hoping to get a little bit better. I did want to just share this recipe with you because, like I said, it's something my mom used to make. We used to love it. I miss my mom. I wish I had watched her cook more, as well as my grandmother. Both were great cooks, made great dinners. But this is something I do remember. It's not too difficult. So, unlike this cork, it's being difficult. But whatever you decide to do, like I said, change it up, make it yours. Try with without the meat in it. Try it without the onions. Try it with different cheese. I do like to grate a little Romano, Pecorino Romano on the top. Kris doesn't like that. She'd like to put just a Parmesan. But it should be 2 more minutes and we'll take it out. All right, it's ready. Let's pull it out. I don't want to burn myself. I've burned myself before. There's nothing worse than getting burned. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And it smells fantastic. All right. I'm gonna let that sit. Gonna let that sit for a little bit. It's gonna cool off. Once it's cool enough for us to scoop out a nice piece, we'll do a little taste test. See what the verdict is on there. Now, those last 5 minutes, I put it in there on broil, just so that it gives that nice little crispy look at the top there, kind of brown. And otherwise, you pull it out and the cheese looks, you know, it looks like it needs a little bit of color. So it got tanned in there on broil. Like I said, we're gonna let it sit maybe about 10 minutes. But in the meantime, I did taste this wine. This is pretty good. St. Giorgio. So if you ever are in Total Wine, take a look at it. It's a Toscana, like I said, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's very good, very good. So we're gonna give this 10 minutes. We'll be right back. See how it looks. Nice. Huh? Huh? Oh, this is my Bob. Oh, there's Kris. Kris, would you like to be my taste tester? Tell me what you think. Say hello so people know that you're there.
Hello. Looks good.
Yes, it's hot. You blow on that so well.
Very good.
What do you think? Very good. Nice.
Hot.
Pretty good, pretty good.
You did well.
Normally we would have some bread, some Italian bread, the little oil, some salt, a side salad pairs well, but that's it. I mean, obviously it's pasta. It's a little heavy, so it fills you up. But yeah, just a side salad, some bread, your favorite drink, and that's it. Well, I definitely appreciate you being here. As you can see, I'm not very good at this yet, but I appreciate you sticking with me. If you've come this far, things will get better, I promise. And as Kris laughs at me from behind the camera, we do appreciate, again, if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, click on that. We'd really appreciate to grow this channel by having you become a subscriber as well, and click to get the little bell for the alerts. And if you have any comments, feel free to do that. I will try to post the ingredients so that if you're interested in having this recipe for yourself, that'd be great. So again, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we shall gallivant again with you soon. Bye.
Bye. This needs to set up a little bit, maybe.
Away. It's gonna go into the sauce, and it's gonna. So we have our sausage browning. We have our onion and our pepper chop. We have our garlic. Right in this, you can see. All right, got my hands all nice and clean. All right. For those of you who know Kris and I, so while the pasta finishes boiling, so we're gonna heat. So before back on the stove, put the ricotta on there. 3 sides are on that dish. So in case any of you are wondering if I have a cleanup crew oven, if you do a little cleanup. All right, got 5 minutes left here. All right, it's ready. Let's pull it out. All right, let's take a piece out of here and see how it looks.
This needs to set up.